What is up, everybody? Welcome into T2T After Dark. It's episode 7, talking everything NFL Week 7. This is a Toilets to Titles podcast network production. I'm Nate. You can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. I'm joined, as always, by the Frito Bandito himself. You can find him on Twitter at Frito_Bandito_FF. What's cooking, buddy?
Hey, I'm a story time. So, anybody ever have that feeling that so me back in high school, not high school, it was after high school and stuff like that, but me and my boys back in California, we'd go out partying and stuff like that. And at the end of every night, we would go to like the worst part of the city and stuff like that. It's where prostitutes, homeless people are just hanging around, begging you for stuff and everything. And there was this meat market there and stuff, man. We'd go there and we would go there to order these tortas. They're like Mexican sandwiches. I don't know if you guys ever had one of them. But man, it was like the best thing in the world. And I've spent the last 25 years moving away from this place, trying to find a place that has a torta that is like that. Well, my wife took me to a Mexican restaurant this past week, and I ordered one because I'm trying to find it. And I took a bite into this one, and man, I about cried. And it was so damn good. It reminded me of the prostitutes and the homeless people back in
I was wondering where the hell this is going.
I'll be real honest. I wasn't sure where this story was going at the beginning. I was pretty excited. I'm still happy with the outcome, but I was very nervous.
Well, the whole point of the story and stuff like that is so when back in the day we would each order 2 of them. There's 3 of us, and we would go sit out on the curb, and we'd always give one to a homeless or a prostitute and stuff like that. And we did a great deed for the night and stuff like that. Yeah. And then we sit down and eat and everything. But I found a place, and my wife was sitting across the table, and I bit into this, and she said the look on my face, it was like nostalgic and stuff like that. I almost about cried. It was so damn good.
That's awesome. Abe, that's hard to follow.
I don't have anything to say.
You find him on Twitter at MVINFF. What's up, pal?
Nothing. I can't top that. So that's pretty fucking awesome. That's incredible. So I had no idea where that was going. Stories. It was awesome.
We got some pretty wild stories, but we better not tell them.
No, that's we don't want any of those recorded.
No. Oh yeah. You can find the show on Twitter at Toilets Titles. Anywhere you can find everything. It's on Toilets Titles. Check out our website. We would appreciate that. ToiletsTitles.com. All our articles, rankings, mock drafts. Rich's rankings drop tomorrow, right?
Yep.
His weekly fantasy rankings drop tomorrow. Him and Jason, right?
Correct.
And then Coaches, Dudes, and Duds will drop tomorrow, as well as the IDP article. I just forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. It's like 3 up, 3 down or something like that. It's great. It's good stuff, though. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe and the bell to know when we go live. And then if you want to get involved in the Gilded chat, hit us up. Any one of us, DM us. We'll get you in there. There's 250-some people in there, I think, now. Constantly talking football, everything. It's a good time. So check that out. Let us know. Let's get into some news. If you guys got anything, you got any reactions from last week? I'll have another one at the end of the show, obviously. But like anything else you saw last week that you enjoyed? Besides, I don't have anything right now. Actually, go ahead. Anybody?
Except for the dismantling of all the players in the NFL. I mean, besides that, what else could have gone wrong?
Yeah, it was rough. I feel like it's. Hey, is it every year though? It just seems like I don't know if it's like guys you really pay attention to get hurt. It seems like every year, and you're like, man, that's way more than last year. But is it? Somebody needs to keep track of that.
Hey, it's funny you say that because I think we all say that. I think, man, it's worse than last year and stuff like that. And probably if they go back and look, it's probably about the same.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a couple more bigger names this year.
Yeah.
With JJ going down and, obviously, a couple other rookies that we kind of had high hopes for. But, yeah, it seems more this year for some reason. I don't know, probably because of the bigger names. But and then the I think, Nate, you'll probably get into this, but the lack of scoring is just it's terrible. It's awful, and it's frustrating to watch. Refs throwing 15 flags a game. I saw someone bet that in the Sunday night game that there was plus money at over 15 flags thrown. He won that, and then he also bet it was like 25-1 for 20. maybe it was 250 to 1 for 25 flags accepted in Sunday night's game, and they got close to that. He bet that also. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous that we're betting how many flags they're throwing above 20. So
it's like betting unders. We're betting on bad football.
I mean, unders are the bets right now. That's the bets. We don't have
no
many high-scoring games.
Oh shit! I did have one in Scott Fishbowl. I've been starting 2 kickers this week. I didn't, so I could start 3 tight ends, and I benched Justin Tucker, and he was 6 for 6 in field goals. So that was cool. But I think I still won actually because Travis Etienne carried me.
He's been a beast.
I think the big news from this week was probably Anthony Richardson shoulder surgery, season ending. I don't know. I mean, mine was like 2 months. I'm good. So, you know,
out there pouring concrete, like
yeah, dude,
like
just,
it's your job. I mean, no big
deal.
deal. You're back. He's back.
that sucks. He's got to learn to. I don't know you can't say he's got to learn to like get down. Like that's how he plays. And he was always hurt at Florida too. That was like a big concern coming out of the draft for a lot of guys. I think was the injury history, where he got hurt all the time, anyways. So I don't know what their plan is.
Maybe
I don't know.
take some taekwondo classes.
The what?
Maybe you should go take some taekwondo classes, like
jiu-jitsu or some stupid shit,
or jiu-jitsu, whatever it was,
or fucking Tudo, so he can fall over better and not get his brain scrambled.
I don't know what was worse, that getting the news of freaking that he's going to be out for the whole season, or getting the news that we're going to have to live with Minshew mania after the game he played this past week. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was horrible. I don't know if you guys watched any of it, but I mean, he was like literally throwing to the other defenders.
Yeah, Nate, you referenced it last week. Like we get excited for him like 5 or 6 weeks, then all of a sudden it tapers off and it's bad. And it looked like last week, like 1 week, and it tapered off and it was really bad. So
I still attribute some of that to him playing those games in Jacksonville. I think that kind of has a little bit to do with it. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how this week is. I like Joe's logic. I don't think that's wrong. You guys played your little hearts out. You really did. I'll talk about your guys' fucking good offense there too. That first half debacle. What the fuck? 14 seconds left. We're gonna run it in. At least fucking spike the ball and kick a field goal. God damn.
It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
But and I know Tyrod, like, he should know what to do. I don't know. God, when I watched that, I had to watch it over and over again to be like, what were we going for here? What was the plan? Like, fuck.
I don't even think freaking the coach knew what the plan was, because it's like.
Now, Dable was pretty pissed off walking off the field at halftime. So it obviously was. It sounded like Tyrod kind of audibled out of whatever their play call was, but I mean, it's just shit like that nonstop in the NFL that you're watching stuff, and you're just like, I'm sitting here. I watch a lot of football, and you sit up there and you're like, what the fuck are they thinking or doing? So it's pathetic. It's terrible.
It's every, like I said, I'm a fucking dipshit, and I still like sit there and you're like, they can't be that fucking hard. Like,
no. But they overthink they overthink everything. Like, and everything is off of what the analytics say and all that stuff. Just play football and rely on your guys.
I've been hearing it. The best thing I fucking hear. Analytics doesn't know who's on the fucking field, and they don't know the goddamn situations. They don't know the situation. They don't know who's on the field. So
and a lot of times we're seeing like balls taken out of like Mahomes' hand or something like that, or someone's hand. Like, what? I mean, you pay this guy $55 million a year, or whatever quarterback it is, like $40 million, whatever it is, or a running back that's a top side running back. Why the hell do you take the ball out of their hands? Like, why? What's getting cute about that? Like, you're lining up, Mahomes on the left flanker. Like, that's dumb as shit. What are you doing?
That was like back when they used to fucking take Drew Brees out and put Taysom Hill in on like 3rd and 8. It's like, Sean Payton, you're a fucking moron.
Right. Oh, we'll probably see tomorrow night on Thursday night, because they love to showcase Taysom Hill. We're probably going to see Taysom Hill score a touchdown tomorrow night. It's going to be something stupid.
Derek Carr looks like shit. Sorry, Rich. They suck.
Hey, they always said put a defense behind Carr and he's a top.
The fuck he is? He got blown out by the Texans.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I do know what to say. I do know what to say.
He's Captain
Hey,
Checkdown.
what's that?
He's Captain Checkdown. Is that what you can say?
I don't think he can
No.
throw the ball that far.
What I want to do is I want to take this time to introduce our newest members of the Title Tribe to the Gilded and everything. We had B Murph 13 join today. We also had at Josh Kimmel, and I want to shoot a shout out to Pete. He's in the chat right now. I think he joined last week and everything. Pete, man, hey, appreciate you what you've been pushing for us out on X, and you being active in our Gilded too. So great job.
I don't remember. Oh, the Debo and McCaffrey. It sounds like McCaffrey might play Monday night.
They're saying all three of them might play and stuff like that. The injuries ain't as bad. So, man, it's one of those situations where I need him to play. But, man, I don't need him to go in the first quarter and get hurt and then miss him for the rest of the week. So,
yeah, McCaffrey.
We saw Debo come back a few weeks ago that they didn't think he'd play, and he played, and I think he got 6 yards total. So, I don't know. If you're relying on these guys, just be a little bit cautious that they're probably all not going to be 100% against the Vikings. So
I'm relying on McCaffrey, not Debo.
Yeah.
And Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, Jets, Titans on a bye.
6 teams on a bye. 0 next week. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Nope.
But that's why we're sitting here.
When is the last time they had 0 midseason like this?
They have it twice this year, I think. They have week 8 and I think week 12. I think are both zeros.
This is the best. This is my favorite comment. I was trying to click it on here. I missed it.
Joe's.
Where'd it go? It won't show up. Or did it?
It did, but it went back down.
Second.
Here, I got it.
Yeah, you get my computer being. It's just. Yeah, Corey Davis fucking stinks.
Yes, he does.
I can't. Like I said, there were some other injuries, but nothing as of note that I can think of. That I will say the Bills' defense. No offense to Joe's Giants, that team is going to struggle against good teams without Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White. That hurts. Matt Milano especially. So, hey, let's get into the fantasy favorites. Who wants to go first? Rich, you want to lead us off with your quarterback?
Yes. Jalen Hurts against the Miami Dolphins. I know they lost that game last week and everything. And look, I expect them to kind of be a little, I don't know if I would say upset, but they're going to bounce back and say, hey, last week was a fluke with the loss and everything. So
Dolphins defense stinks. So
well, exactly. That's one reason why I want to have Jalen Hurts in my lineup this week. So he is my fantasy favorite at QB.
Abe.
My favorite this not my favorite, but just kind of off the rails a little bit. My guy that I like is Purdy at Minnesota. I've said it a couple times on this podcast that Minnesota's defense is nothing. It's not that good. Brock Purdy's a little bit pissed after losing his first game last week. He may have some weapons out, like we just kind of alluded to, but I see him putting up quite a bit of fantasy points in comparison. Obviously things are a little watered down with 6 teams on bye this week and some injuries, but I have Purdy as a top 6 quarterback this week against the Vikings.
Yeah, if they can block the Vikings front, they're like one of the most blitz happy teams in the league. So I think he'll probably be fine. So they got a little more talent than the fucking Bears. So that's why I was picking on them last week.
You're not going to say anything about the Minnesota Vikings defense?
They fucking scored me like 23 points on DraftKings last week, and you guys were talking shit about them. They shut the Bears down.
Well, it was the Bears, so.
My quarterback slamming Sammy Howell at the Giants. Should have a pretty solid week. I know the Giants, I just feel like they're going to have a little bit of a letdown after what happened with the Bills. And the Commanders have played well sometimes. Their defense stinks, so I think it should be a high-scoring game, hopefully. I don't know who's going to be. I guess I think Tyrod's playing, probably. So, running back. What'd you say?
I hope he plays one more week.
Yeah, running backs. I like Josh Jacobs at the Bears. Bears defense sucks. Josh Jacobs doesn't. McDaniels probably won't give him enough carries because he's a dipshit, but he should run the ball. He should probably get 28 carries against the Bears.
You know what? Even if he doesn't get the 28 carries, I think he's averaging like 3.5 yards and everything. He's been more involved in the passing game more than anything, and that's what's really helping his season so far because the run game, he's still ramping up and everything, but he's been heavily involved in the passing game. He's getting those drop-offs, those check downs that you would call it, Nate.
That's Jimmy G's game, dude.
Yeah. Hey, my running back.
And throwing hospital balls to Devontae.
My running back this week is my number one overall ranked running back is Kenneth Walker. The man has been kind of carrying that team to a certain degree. And says Zach Charbonnet, who? I mean, he's been doing it all, man. I really like him this week against the Arizona Cardinals. I hope they ride him for like the rest of the season and Zach Charbonnet comes in maybe the last 2 weeks and stuff like that and helps carry some of my teams to championships.
Yeah. Abe.
Yeah, I like that call a lot, Rich. I mean, Kenneth Walker is, I think, I don't know if he has a game less than he scored 16 fantasy points. He looks really good. And as we saw, Arizona gave up quite a bit to Kyron Williams last week before he got hurt. So I like that call a lot. Kenneth Walker is a top 2 running back on my board this week. And then my other running back that I like is Aaron Jones at Denver. I hope to God that Matt LaFleur decides to give him the ball until he gets to halftime and says, oh, I need to give Aaron Jones the ball like he did week 1 against Chicago. And then Green Bay came out and played really good in the second half when Jones got the ball and got some touches. So against that Denver defense, I hope to God Aaron Jones gets the ball. It sounds like he's healthy. So my 2 running backs that I have this week that I like more than usual is Ken Walker, like Rich alluded to, and Aaron Jones at Denver.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. Wide receiver, I liked Jack Smith and Jigba to finally like do something. Maybe this is like the kind of get right game. I've kind of figured some things out. I feel like he's going to get in the box this weekend for us. So this is the weekend. I'm going for it.
Yeah. So Quez Watkins for the Philadelphia Eagles. Did they release him or deactivated him?
Well, they got Julio Jones now, so that's all that matters.
That's where I was leading into. So they brought in a star receiver.
Yeah, in 2008.
Well, he's still a star and everything, but it's actually, if you really sit there and think about it, it's a good fit for him. He's been wanting to be on a Super Bowl team and everything. This is probably the best opportunity that he's going to have to win a championship and everything. And where this is all leading to and everything is also Devontae Smith. He popped up on the injury report this week and stuff like that. And to team up with Jalen Hurts having an awesome week, AJ Brown is going to continue on another week after having his gripe session a couple weeks back. And he's been getting all the targets now and everything. I look for a huge game against him, against this Miami defense that we keep on saying how bad they are.
He had a catch last week, and I just was like, I don't know. I don't get it. AJ Brown's he's a monster. Hey.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good. I hope to God we see a shootout with a lot of points on Sunday Night Football this week with that Dolphins-Eagles game. But my receivers I like DK Metcalf versus Arizona. The volume has been there a little bit. It just seems like he's underachieved a little bit this year. He's kind of been the guy, but he hasn't had that explosive game with touchdowns. Arizona's a team that, like I said a couple weeks ago, Cincinnati got right with them passing the ball around. So I like DK against Arizona. And then I like Jacoby Myers at Chicago. This is one guy that has absolutely shocked the hell out of me and probably, many others. He looks really good. He's running good routes. He doesn't have as much pressure on him because Devontae on the other side. And like Rich talked about earlier, with what's the name coming out of the backfield with Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. Jacoby Myers running good routes, getting in the end zone, playing well. So those are my 2 wide receivers I like more than most this weekend.
Yeah. Abe, this tight end, this one's just for you. And Slater. Durham Smythe. That's my guy against Philly. I just, like they're going to do everything they can to try to impede Waddle and Tyreek. I mean, you can't stop them, but, try to do whatever they can to slow things down. So Durham Smythe's be wide open all game. 5 catches, 85 yards, and at least a touchdown.
Yes, that's respectable stats. I like that.
He's a dog, dude. Number 81 out there, bud.
I was gonna be freaking Homer and stuff like that and pick a tight end that's been kind of skyrocketing up and getting more active with the Raiders.
You can say him because he had a game last week, a good one.
Michael Mayer, yeah.
Right,
slowly but surely, man, he's getting more involved. They're finally moving Austin Hooper off to the side and say, let's get this young stud. I'm gonna bring this up real quick and everything. I know they've been talking Taylor Swift with the Kelsey thing and everything, and I don't know if you guys have seen what is there? Robbie, what is her name? That played Joker's girlfriend, Robbie McGough, or
I don't have a long enough attention span to watch movies, Rich.
Okay, well, obviously she's dating Michael Myers. She's wanting to get into that old.
Oh, that Margot, Robbie Margot.
Yeah, there you go, Robbie Margot. So she's out here dating Michael Myers and stuff like that, trying to get some of that
screen time.
Swifty mania thing.
But you better be careful because they're going to be looking shitty like the Chiefs.
I hope
and distracting.
Yeah, it's for those Raiders and stuff like that. So, but a long story short, I'm not picking Michael Myers because I'm not going to be a homer. Logan Thomas is the man that's going to be the recipient of what'd you call him? Slamming Sammy out. Yeah, there you go. He's going to be the recipient of all this target from him and everything. Look, he had like 2 weeks ago where he had a huge game when they played against the Bears and everything. So I look for him. I was kind of hoping it for last week, but it didn't go that route. I see him bouncing back this week and having a solid performance.
Yep, I like it. Abe's got Old Faithful on there.
He always says it every week. Go ahead, Abe.
My same two guys, Kelsey and Laporta. I don't. The tight end position is kind of a joke to me this year. So I'm just going to keep sticking with my guys, Kelsey and Laporta. Laporta didn't seem like he had that great of a game last week when you looked at numbers, but then I went and looked and he had 11 targets. So I'm going to stick with my two guys at tight end, Kelsey and Laporta. Just penciled them in every week on this for me.
I'm excited to watch that Lions-Ravens game. That's good. I think it'd be a hard game for the Lions to travel out there. Not saying that like they're going to get, the doors blown off. I think that's going to be a really good football game. It should be fun to watch. So, Abe, give me your DFS lineup.
My DFS lineup, I got Stafford at quarterback. I got Ford and Swift as my running backs. My wide receivers, I got Puka to match up with Stafford. Rashee Rice, who Rich talked about last week with the red zone looks he's getting. He just seems like he's on a constant incline in that offense. And then I like Christian Watson. Hopefully Green Bay gets it going on offense. So at some point, he looked a little bit better last week, like he was kind of a full go. My tight end, I got Kelsey. And then my flex spot, I threw in Debo. And the reason why I kind of did that was I think he's a little more healthy than others on the team right now. And if McCaffrey doesn't play a lot, obviously we're going to see Debo in the backfield a little bit. So that he's in my flex spot, just kind of going against the grain a little bit because I think a lot of people wouldn't take that. And then I like the Tampa Bay defense. This defense is really, really good. Yep. Kind of flying under the radar. They don't score a lot. They don't give up a lot. But I like that Tampa Bay defense this week as well.
Oh yeah, yep, I agree. I'll go. I got Geno Smith. Like I said, their offenses look kind of bad lately. But I said, and not that I think the Cardinals are bad, but I feel like they play football for about 40 minutes and then they get tired. So I'm hoping Geno can kind of bounce back a little bit. Jerome Ford, that Browns team, it doesn't matter who plays quarterback. I mean, PJ Walker threw 2 interceptions and they won. That defense they're the best in the league and they are very good. I think the Colts are going to have a tough time moving the football. I think the Browns played man defense or man coverage 74% of the snaps last week against the 49ers. And I know when McCaffrey's not there, it kind of like takes a huge chess piece out of the playbook for Shanahan, but that is an ungodly amount of man coverage, and that's going to struggle, or that'll hurt a lot of guys. But I think they're going to run the shit out of the football because I think they're going to just want to keep, make it. They want to play their game, and that's running the ball. Jaleel McLaughlin, Packers can't stop the run worth a goddamn. I think he'll have a good game. I like Romeo Dobbs to kind of get right. He only had like 2 targets before the bye. I just blame LaFuck for that because he's a dipshit. I do like Josh Downs though. I think I had him on the waiver wire show. With I don't know if Alec Pierce is out for an extended amount of time. I know he had a shoulder injury in the game, but they're going to be chucking the ball. That's what Minshew does, and he has a little bit of a rapport with Downs. So, and then I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously, I think it'll be a tough game, but he's going to get his no matter what. Kyle Pitts, a tight end, kind of getting going. Hell, Desmond Ridder threw for over 300 yards last week. He's kind of starting to figure things out, I think. Then I was able to have Cooper Kupp in my flex because got a lot of money left, and you can always play him regardless. And then Chiefs defense. I know they are playing the Chargers, who we thought were some big powerhouse, but they scored 17 points the other night, and I think that Chiefs defense is very, very good. I think they will be able to shut down dipshit Kellen Moore. If Dan Quinn and the Cowboys can do it, why can't the Chiefs? So,
yeah, gotcha. Hey, Abe, you good over there?
Yeah, everything was really choppy for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it kicked me out, so I jumped back in. So
it seems like you're back. It's better now.
Yeah, it was really choppy a minute ago. So, and then all of a sudden it just said not in studio. So I just relogged back in.
Hey, you see, got 2 questions from the.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing. I got it. Yeah, that's what I was fixing to bring in. So I'm gonna lead off with Abe giving some input on this one right here. What? Just curious, what's your thoughts on what Tyson Bagnet would be like fantasy wise?
I think he's probably left better on the waiver wire. I don't think that he is the answer. Obviously there's 6 teams on bye. There's a lot of injuries, but you should be able to do better with Fields this week than Bagent. Even though Fields ain't even going to dress. So I don't know. I don't, watching this kid in the preseason, he threw the ball pretty well. I was actually kind of impressed with him in the preseason, but it's a preseason. So he's not something that I would want in my lineup.
No, if I was playing super flex and I'm generally starting 2 quarterbacks and he's all I got, I'm probably putting a running back or a fucking wide receiver in my super flex spot. Cause I don't trust, the Raiders defense has played well. The offensive line of the Bears is not good. And I don't know. I think now that it's a little faster than the preseason, and it's like, oh fuck. So I don't know. I know there were some Bears fans clamoring for him to be the starter, which I think is ridiculous. I know Justin Fields has looked like shit, but he's still got a little more talent.
Yeah, so
it's like you guys need to evaluate Fields the entire year, not try to bring in this other kid and evaluate him when we know what the outcome is going to be with this kid. He's not Brock Purdy. I mean, that's like a 1 in a million thing that actually happens.
100% right. Look, you hit it on the nail. Obviously, nobody should be picking him up if it's a single QB league. I don't care if it's 6 teams on a bye or not. You shouldn't be picking them up. And then in Superflex, you hit it right on the nail too. Look, I'm not touching him. I'd rather play a running back or receiver in his spot and everything. Because I know for one thing, Max Crosby, he is licking his chops going into this game and everything. And I feel sorry for the young man.
Crosby's been a fucking game wrecker the last 3 weeks. That's all that. It's wild.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next one we got is from Super CN B Challenger. Huge trade, but what you think? I'd be giving up AJ Brown, CD, London, and Jeff Wilson, and I would be getting a Hawkinson, Olave, JT, and Zay Flowers. PPR.
No.
Any reasoning behind that, Nate?
I can't do that. I can't give up AJ. I don't know who your other wide receivers are to give up. I mean, Jeff Wilson, I don't give a shit about, but I cannot give up CD Lamb and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're getting TJ Hawkinson. The Saints offense for me is not good enough at the moment. And JT, we don't know, what I haven't seen enough yet. And I love Zay Flowers, but I still think that the offense in Baltimore runs through Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. And Nelson Aguilar is like the number 2, which is wild to me. But that's what I think. I can't give up those guys. I really can't.
Yeah.
And Drake London.
I mean, when I first looked at this, I thought, When I first looked at this, I was like, man, giving up AJ Brown, CD, London, and Jeff Wilson. I don't know. Are they starters on your team? It's kind of hard to tell just because, we don't know the depth of your league and the depth of your team specifically. I understand you're getting back, Hawkinson, Olave,
McLaurin,
Zay Flowers, and JT. So he has what?
He has DK and McLaurin for his other receivers.
Okay.
Well, I'd try to trade those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look, he has Zach. He has Zach.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's given up.
He has Zach Ertz at tight end. He said he also has Sam Howell, Baker, and T-Law this week. And he has other receivers as DK and McLaren.
Ertz has been like a top 4 tight end, 3 tight end, hadn't he?
Yeah, he's been decent and stuff like that. I'm not giving up AJ Brown and CD and London. Look, as bad as he started out, I'm not giving those 3 up for. Look, Hawkinson is going to have more coverage being drawn to him with Jefferson being out, so that's going to hurt him a little bit. Olave just hasn't really been that caliber of what we thought receiver he was going to be this year.
I blame Derek Carr.
Okay, yeah, we could go that route. So I'll let you say that today. Look, Zay Flowers, as good as he's been and stuff like that, he ain't no AJ Brown or CD. And then JT, look, he's just ramping up and everything. Yeah, he's probably the best player in this trade when it's all said and done, but I'm not giving up those 3 stud receivers. Yeah, you just can't do that.
I mean, I'm not against trying to trade DK and McLaurin for JT and Flowers or something.
If you need depth, if you need absolute depth and that's your goal, then this, you're getting starting, a top 1 or 2 tight end in Hawkinson. You're getting a top 15 wide receiver in Olave. You're hopefully getting a top 12 running back in JT, and you're giving up a lot in AJ Brown and CD, which are both top 10 wide receivers. So top 6 wide receivers, I guess. So you're giving up a lot off the top, with AJ Brown and CD, and you're getting a lot of depth and back, and Zay Flowers is a guy that you can plug and play. So, I mean, when I first looked at this, I thought, hell no. The more and more I look at it, I mean, it's not too bad. It's not something where I would, it's you'd have to look and say, okay, now I have a tight end that I know that I can count on. That's, not going to get, he's, Ertz has been good, but, will he fade off a little bit? We don't know. Will JT come back and be fully healthy? We don't know. Olave should be better. Zay Flowers has been kind of hit or miss. You can count on 40 yards from him, but I'm not totally against this trade. I don't know if I would make it. When these trades come up, I like looking at both sides and say, okay, would my team be better with the guys I'm getting compared to would I take it if someone sent me this trade? Opposite side of it. And if someone offered me AJ Brown and CD for these guys, I probably would take it, but I don't know. It's a tough call. It's the more and more I look at it, it's a tougher decision for me.
Yeah.
Look, go ahead.
I think I'm not saying I still stand by my side of keeping those guys, but it doesn't feel as over. When I first saw, like I said, you're like, holy shit. Like when I saw who you're giving up, or like, it's like, what are we getting back here? You know what I mean? But I like I said, when you talk more like Hawkinson and Flowers and Olave, that's just, you're giving up so much with Brown and CeeDee Lamb and Drake London. I feel like I said, Raiders threw for 300 yards last week, over 300 yards last week.
I mean, you're getting out. You're getting an upgrade at running back. You're getting a massive upgrade at tight end, and you're taking a huge hit at wide receiver. So if you think you have the wide receiver depth to do it, go ahead. Me personally, I like plugging in AJ Brown and CD and knowing that I'm getting 15 to 20 out of these guys weekly. So the only person you're going to get that on the other side right now so far this year is Hawkinson.
Yeah.
And last week he only went 5 for 60 or 5 for 50. So it's not, or 6 for 50, I guess. But, that's only 11 points in a PPR. So.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, look.
That's a tough call.
When you look at this, ain't nobody should be complaining if this trade goes through. Nobody's gonna veto it or anything like that, because on paper, look, it's 50-50. It just depends on what you need for your team and everything. And that's what it comes down to, is like on situations like this, you truly know if this is the right fit because you know your whole team. Yeah, I understand you're giving us a few facts on what you have and everything, but when it comes down to it, AJ Brown and CD, look, they could carry you at the end, stuff like that. And it's like
watching that game against the Cowboys, or the Cowboys against the Chargers, like watching CD Lamb just like be dominant. I'm like, fuck, that guy's awesome. Like I knew he was, but like just watching him the other night, you're like, fuck, and same with AJ Brown. They're just
yeah, you just can't give those guys up.
You can do anything. Both those guys can do anything on that field.
They can do anything. I don't know.
Correct.
His quarterback question said Sam Howell, slamming Sammy Howell. Can't forget that. Baker Mayfield or Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence, is he playing? Do we know?
Yeah, he's going to play.
He is going to play.
They haven't gave the true hard facts, but look, he's going to play.
I'm taking slamming Sammy Howell. The Falcons defense has played pretty well. Baker's been, I think he's got a pretty safe floor, I guess you could say. And Lawrence, I don't know. He's been like a roller coaster, it seems like, this year. Last week was good, but it's just been tough. I like Howell against the Giants defense.
Now, look, here's what it comes down to. Trevor Lawrence, you bring in
I would take Sammy Howell on that also.
You bring in Calvin Ridley for Trevor Lawrence, and he has all these options. And I almost wonder if it's making it harder for him. He got all these options to go to and everything. It's like, man, I think it confuses him more than anything, because all three are good options. Then the emergence of ETN, as well as he's been playing everything and stuff like that. Just need to go to your first reads and kind of go from there. But
go back to two fingers, like what's his name, instead of,
Yeah, exactly. I'd be leaning Sam Howell this week too and everything with his matchup.
Hell yeah. Hey, DFS lineup, Rich.
And if you have a similar matchup.
Sorry.
Abe, I think you're starting to lag again.
Go ahead. Yeah. All right, I'll jump back out.
All right, DFS lineup. My lineup for this week is, look, there's a caveat to this first one. Look, I got Brian Hoyer if he is the starter. If he is not the starter, then I'm swapping him out for Aiden O'Connell. But besides that, I'm going with Josh Jacobs, him against the Bears. He's going to be utilized rushing and passing. I'm going Travis Etienne. Look, he's like that CMC junior that we all thought he was going to be coming out and everything. And he's finally starting to get that role within this offense and everything. I look for Brandon Ayuk to have a huge game. If Debo doesn't play as much, I know he's predicted to play and everything, but even if CMC is out, look, Ayuk is going to be the one carrying this team this week and everything. Drake London is finally starting to get his mojo back and everything from the beginning of the season. Look, Ritter had a big game last week and everything, so I look to him to kind of carry that mojo in this next game. And then, look, little low value here and everything, Wan'Dale Robinson. Look, more and more every week, he's getting more targets and getting more opportunity within this offense and everything. If Tyrod Taylor is the person that plays this week as far as QB for the Giants, I look Wan'Dale Robinson to have another solid performance like he did last week and everything. Like Logan Thomas at tight end, Cooper Kupp popped up on the injury report again and everything. I don't know how serious he is. He's going to play, but I look for Puka Nacua, who I'm throwing in my DFS lineup to have a bounce back from a low, not a horrible week last week, but a lower performance than what we expect. And I like him bouncing back and everything and having a good game this week. And I can't go without my defense, my Raiders defense against the Bears. I think they're going to Max Crosby by himself is going to put me up 10, 15 points just in fantasy by himself and everything. So I'm riding the Max Crosby train this week. So that is my DFS lineup, sirs.
I like it. Before we go on, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/titles. For those that are members, we appreciate the hell out of y'all for supporting us, helping us keep the lights on. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff we're doing, the different giveaways every week. Rich will go over something at the end of the show about that it's a Patreon exclusive deal, things like that. So yeah, check it out. We want some more info. There's 6 different tiers. But yeah, we'd appreciate the help, and we do appreciate the ones that do help us. So getting to some gambling lines for the week. We'll just kind of go a little round table. First, I like Browns minus 2.5 the Colts. Like I said earlier, that Browns defense is just so good. So I know seems like it's kind of, I guess we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I don't really care who the quarterback's going to be. I think the Browns cover. So I think they win by, I would say, more than a field goal, but we'll see. So, Rich?
I'm going Lions +3 over the Ravens. Look, I know it's at the Ravens and everything, but look, I see this game being a real close game and everything, and I see Lions pulling this out and everything. There's just something not right with the Baltimore Ravens. Look, I don't know where to pin it and stuff like that. They're just not as dominant as we thought they were going to be with the receiving game that they brought in to help out Lamar Jackson and everything. And then on top of their injuries to the running backs.
Because they need to throw down the middle of the field. Yeah. I told you that. Big guys, middle of the field.
Isaiah likely hasn't been involved. It's kind of crazy just how just kind of way the offense has been. It's been a Justin Tucker show, which hey, Nate, don't leave him on your bench this week.
He's starting.
All right.
Hey,
one thing to think about, just kind of coattail off that Lions game. I heard a stat this morning that the Ravens have not given up more than I think it was 15 or 16 points to opposing quarterbacks in fantasy. So, and I know Jared Goff has not played well on the road. So just kind of keep that in mind. I think the Lions overcome that. And I think it's a hell of a game. So we both of you guys talked about it earlier. That's one game that we're kind of looking forward to this weekend. So I think the Lions do pull it out or do with it. Definitely stay within 3. You might want to move that to a +3.5, to get that extra hook on it. Cause I think that game will be that close. My first pick that I like is Rams Steelers over 43.5. That Rams team can put up points in a hurry. They didn't do it last week. I expected a little bit more fireworks off them last week. They kind of played a little bit slower in the game. The Steelers defense is hit or miss. And in my opinion, it's more miss than it is hit. And so I think that the Steelers can kind of get up and down the field with them as well. So I think 43.5 points is a little low for that. I know, we were talking before we got on today at how low all the over-unders are this year, especially this week. I think that's a little bit low for a team that can, the Rams especially can get up and out of the field in a hurry. I don't think they're going to rely on the running game as heavily as what they had without Kyron Williams. So I look for them to throw the ball a little bit more. So I like that over 43.5.
Darrell Henderson's back, dude.
Watch out.
Darrell. Hey, by the way, Dan Campbell's 23-11 ATS in the 2 years he's been the coach. So only one guy better. So, but I'll take 67%. That's pretty solid. So, yeah. I had his coffee over there today. I had half of it, and my hands were shaking. So I might fire it up and get me the double tomorrow. But
and you still haven't slept.
Yeah, last week. Yeah, right. Why did I not put the line in there? I'll talk to them later. I don't want to steal Rich here, but Raiders -3 at the Bears. I would tease that to 7. Why not? Not even tease it, just alternate spread 7. Yeah, I like.
Why
that
is that
game.
so low?
I don't fucking know.
Why is that so low?
Even like Brian Hoyer is a serviceable guy that can beat that shitty defense. You know what I mean?
I don't get that. I don't understand that.
I don't either. But
Abe, go ahead and get yours.
So I like the Commanders -2.5 against the Giants.
I guess I could have looked at yours right there. Washington played pretty well last week, and the Giants played better. But I think that Washington team is just, a better football team than the Giants are right now. So
I like Washington. I know that the Giants kind of give them fits. I know it's a division game. You're on the road for a division game, but I don't know. I trust that Washington team more than I do the Giants team right now.
No, that's a great pick. Look, you and me both had the Raiders -3 over the Bears. I don't get it. I know you kind of said it a minute ago and stuff like that. But I'll be happy to take that easily and stuff like that. So I will go to my next one. I do have the Rams -3 over the Steelers. That is, I'm going with the threes this week. So I got 1 + 3 and the other 2 -3s. But I think Rams. I know Steelers are probably getting Deontay Johnson back this week and everything, but this might be closer than what I'm expecting and
He
stuff
should be
like
good
that.
for those 2 drops.
The Steelers defense just hasn't been there and everything. So I like the Rams to light it up on them through the air.
I also had the Commandos, Washington football team, -2.5, the Giants. Now I'm really nervous. I just saw a stat. Brian Daboll's 14-5 ATS in the last year. So, but can't. Got to go slamming Sammy. So yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. I mean, they covered last week. That was like it closed at 15 against the Bills. They easily covered that one, but I don't know. I just think it's different weeks. So my last one, I don't remember. Yeah, Chiefs -5.5 against Chargers. I know I'm generally not a Chiefs better because they're known non-coverers, but I'm not a believer in the Chargers. I think Kellen Moore's a dipshit. And of course, my favorite coach, Brandon Staley. So Andy Reid's too good. So
favorite coach. Okay.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Yeah, you're right.
Look, my last one I got this week is from the Buffalo Bills New England Patriots game. This is the weekly special. I'm going a little offense defense here. AJ Epinesa. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Espenza.
He's going to record 1+ sack, and Stephon Diggs is going to go over 100 yards in this game. It's +350. So,
like it. Hey.
Yeah, I like the Raiders over 19.5 points as a team total. I think they put up plenty of points on the Bears defense. I don't see this game being close, so I like the Raiders over 19.5.
Nice.
Yep. Is that first half 19.5? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know what's more funnier, us hollering, but then us waiting for Abe. It's like that during the headlights. It's like, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Ow!"
Rich, talk about your thing, your contest, and where they can find it.
Gotcha. So you can obviously, if you get into Gilded, you get in there, come chat with us and everything. Come hit us up. We got all kinds of people in there. Like my man Pete in the chat. Look, it is free to get in there, but we have our Patreon members. Okay, we Nate kind of hit it earlier. We got so many tiers and everything going on, and everything. But the one thing that we are doing, this is something that I started this year that I'm doing, and I'm going to be doing it every year going forward. It's called Beat the Bandito. Okay. It's your opportunity to come in, set a lineup. What you're doing is you pick a QB, running back, receiver, tight end, and a flex. Okay, once you pick that player, you can't pick them anymore for the rest of the year. And you just, every week we tally up points and stuff like that in the season. If you can beat me, the Bandito, and stuff like that, I'll pay for you or your entry into next year's Frankenstein. Okay, I've been submitting my lineups through Gilded in our Patreon chat, but I'm going to change it up because I want people to come on here and if they truly want to try to figure out who I'm starting in my lineup, they're going to have to come on here and listen, because every week this is where I'm going to start announcing my lineup for the week. Beat the Bandito week 7 lineup. At QB, I'm taking Jalen Hurts versus the Dolphins. At running back, I'm taking Josh Jacobs versus the Bears. At receiver, I took A.J. Brown against the Miamis, get that little stack in there. And then tight end, I'm taking Logan Thomas against the New York Giants. And in my flex, I'm taking Brandon Ayuk. Scoring format is our Frankenstein scoring format. So very high
You
scoring.
might have 800 points there.
I'm just throwing it out there. This might be the week that I really take over that lead and everything. I got some good competitors in there that have been kind of giving me a run, and I feel like they kind of been looking at my lineup a little bit and then kind of adjusting from there. So if they truly want to see what my lineup is and make those adjustments, they're going to come out and check our show out and stuff like that and give us some views. So I think it's a little fair trade-off, right?
Hell yeah. Pete, tier 3, moving up slowly. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that, man. I said, hopefully I'm sending you some good luck for some giveaways in the future. Hopefully we can make it happen. Yeah. So we kind of hit on earlier. Last week what was I bitching about last week? Brandon Staley, probably, because that's just usually what I get mad about. I could talk about him, but we don't need to. So Abe mentioned earlier about like the offense. The red zone offense has been miserable more than just this last week, but I didn't get every game because I didn't have time to go through them all. But I have 7 teams here that red zone efficiency last week was really good. The Saints 0 for 3, Seattle 1 for 5, the Bucks were 0 for 2, the Lions were 0 for 2, Giants 0 for 5, Jets 1 for 4, Cardinals 0 for 3. Those 7 teams were combined fucking 2 for 24 in the fucking red zone. I don't know how like people have jobs. It's like, and it's the dumbest shit that I don't know. It's like run, pass or whatever, it's like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. We're just fucking picking random plays. It's like we're out here playing Madden. Hopefully this fucking works. It doesn't make sense that it's been, and it's not just this week. That's just the numbers I wrote down. And in the Bucks Lions game, they were both 0 for 2. The Cardinals Rams game, Cardinals 0 for 3, Rams are 2 for 5. That still sucks. And the Texans are 2 for 4 against the Saints, in 3, which, well, I mean, I guess you're 50% at that point, but still, it's a travesty how bad it is. And like I said earlier, the Giants, that first half, ending the first half, not getting any points there. At least kick a goddamn field goal. I mean, points are come at a premium. It's not easy to score. I get that, but it's got to be better than this. I don't know what it is. The guy's getting too cute calling plays or what, but it's just wild to me that it 2 for 24 in the red zone for 7 teams. I mean, I've said it last year. I'll say, if you want to get your ass kicked every fucking week, be shitty in the red zone, fucking turn the ball over, and be, like that's all you got to do right there. Those 2 things. Oh, and be shitty on third down. I don't even need to get into that. Those 3 things. That's how you fucking lose football games. So I don't know. Not that hard. Then, I mean, to me, then it just, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that it's the fucking defense because I don't think that's what it is. I mean, the Texans defense isn't that great, and they didn't let them in 0 for 3. I mean, the Rams defense, who the fuck are they against the Cardinals? They were 0 for 3. So I don't know. It's just frustrating to watch I'm not saying I don't like guys like kickers, but I like touchdowns. So
love touchdowns.
That's all I got. Sorry.
Love touchdowns.
Bravo.
I agree.
I agree. Brought to you by Angry Runs, Angry Birds. Great job there. Great job.
We don't have Angry Runs. We should have Angry Nate.
Angry Dirt.
It's just it like I said, it gets old. And next week we'll just talk about the Packers on third down because they'll be fucking 2 of 14 or some bullshit again, I'm sure. So that's gonna be a brutal show next week if we have a poor showing. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a barn burner. That's for sure.
Bring it back, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Check out the website, toiletstyles.com. Check out our Patreon. Check out our Gilded Chat. Like I said, it's free. Hop in. There's free gambling stuff in there as well. A lot of big parlays and stuff. Like I said, anything surrounding football, whether it's college or NFL, it's in there. So check it out. Hit us up. We'll get you in there. And you guys got anything before we get out of here?
No, man. Once again, man, all you Patreons, Gilded, Title Tribe, appreciate everything you guys are doing, man. Let's enjoy Week 7 football.
Hell yeah. We will see you all next week, and keep staying positive and testing negative.